So after watching the brutally intense movie Revenge, which was incredible, and you should check out my review for it, I decided to watch another Goosebumps episode and talk about it, because I can have a palate cleanser from being disturbed like crazy from that movie Revenge, and then I'm going to watch a kid's show that I watched growing up. So the second Goosebumps episode on Netflix is It Came From Beneath the Sink, which I totally forgot about this one whenever I rewatched it. Like, I remembered immediately that I've seen it before, but I forgot about it before I rewatched it today. Now, the thing I think is funny about this one is that Catherine Isabel is like the main character in this show, and you'll notice, and I'll point this out, throughout the Goosebumps TV series, there's a lot of young actors that are in these episodes. Like Hayden Christensen is in one too. There's a lot of actors that became big after this, but it's just funny seeing them as kids in these type of shows. Like, it's just funny seeing them in Goosebumps. And Catherine Isabel, who was in like Freddy vs. Jason and Insomnia, like, I like to see her in this. I thought she was actually really good, like totally fine kid actor in this episode. The basic plot of this one, which it sounds like it's straight out of a Stephen King type of book, and it's very fun, but it's so silly because Kitty, Catherine Isabel's character, her and her family move into this new house, and she finds this sponge that is alive. This literal sponge that has fangs, and it is alive, and it's gonna get her. Nobody believes her until later. So it cracks me up with the sponge, but honestly, that sponge is actually pretty creepy in some scenes. Like, it has a look on the sponge, like where it grows fangs. I think it's actually kind of effective for a kid. Like, watching it as a kid, I'd be scared. I did like that, and I think I was kind of scared whenever I watched it as a kid. I just thought that was really funny, seeing that something, even as an adult, I thought that it was kind of effective, showing that sponge with the fangs, even though it sounds so silly, a literal sponge with fangs. But at the end of the episode, and this is only 22 minutes long, so it's not like I didn't mention anything else, so it sounds like I'm skipping to the end, but it's only a 22-minute episode. So at the end, they encounter at the school, because the kitty gives it to one of her teachers to test on, and then they go into the science lab and realize that, like, how they stop this sponge is by singing happy stuff, like singing "You Are My Sunshine," or just singing about positive things, singing about love, and that's what stops the sponge from being bad. Like, it's so cheesy, but I thought that was so fun. Like, they just literally, that's the way to stop it. You just be kind to it. Be kind to this sponge who has been wronged, maybe. Like, it's probably just a sponge that has had problems, I guess. But it cracks me up. And then after that, like, the sponge literally lives in the house with Kitty, and Kitty, like, takes care of it like a pet. and she plays it happy music so the sponge stays content. And then the dog comes back, Killer, I think it's implied that the sponge ate it and ate the teacher, but the teacher's never mentioned again. But I think in the book, 'cause I've read the book, I think it said like the sponge might have literally ate the dog and the teacher, but then they came back after the sponge's content. But then whenever Killer, the dog, comes back, she's like, "What do you got, Killer?" She finds this potato in his mouth that he's got, and the potato grows fangs, and then she screams, and it ends. And it's just one of those, like, moments where it's like, oh, it's gonna happen again, but then I feel like she's just probably gonna save that potato with some love again and some happiness, just like the sponge. So this one is a weird one. I did enjoy this episode a lot. I thought it was fun. I thought it was silly, and I thought, even like whenever I was a kid, I enjoyed it. I thought that sponge was actually kind of intimidating. Like, it's funny because he looks kind of intimidating with those fangs. And I thought that this was overall just fun, like the first episode. I really enjoyed this one. I like seeing Catherine Isabel young in this. That was cool seeing her young and doing good as a kid actor too. So I really enjoyed this episode. This was a pretty fun one. So what did you guys think of this one, if you've seen the show? It Came From Beneath the Sink. I really enjoyed this one a whole lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll do more Goosebumps videos in the future.